We are ready to rumble here in Bathurst for the third round of the third season of the International Sim Racing League. So yeah, we are here for the third round of the Super Formula League here in, this time in Bathurst. Give me a second, boys. Just one thing, just one little thing, one tiny little thing. Oh, that's, hang on. Oh, it's so much better. I can see the screen. Jesus Christ. Raiden's car is loud. In fact, the audio is loud. So, here we are then in Super Formula time. Yeah, so it's Super Formula time then, here. And this time we're at Bathurst as we watch Hunty go off. I don't think he's a B-rated driver anymore. I don't know. I'm not sure if he's an A-rated driver. We'll have to see when the race starts, won't we? Oh my god, work properly. Work. Come on. Okay, let's just watch this. No, someone who's on the track would work. Fabuki will do. Was our championship leader. Raiden has subsequently taken the championship lead following his victory in Willow Springs. So, following Raiden's victory in Willow Springs, he has taken the championship lead from Fabuki. Walter, welcome to the stream. Glad to see you can join us. Good luck for the race. Of course, you are indeed racing. I just ignore me selecting the complete wrong option there. But here we are then. Here's Fabuki then. Was our championship leader. He's dropped down to, I think he's about 4th, 5th now. His teammates in 4th. Oh no. Yeah, Fabuki's about 4th in the championship. Although Fraggins, he's struggling, not scored a point yet. He'll obviously want to try and rectify that in tonight's race. Ruti, after a really difficult race in Willow Springs, but it's a track he loves driving, and so it could be a very good track for Ruti in today. Racer T, he had a horrific race that's so bad that he ended up leaving the race midway through. So with that, it will be interesting to see, should he end up, you know, just actually finishing this race. And he needs to get some serious points on the board. He's only got 3. He's been massively outscored by his teammate Walter. Raiden, though, has taken the championship lead as he just fails to go into the pits altogether there. But yes, no, Raiden has taken the championship lead, so he's going to want to try and keep that one going, along with Mercury Red Bull Racing, I believe, are now the team's championship leaders. So it's all still to play for at the front. Lorenzi, who I'm not even sure if he's in the lobby. Let's see if he's in the lobby. Lorenzi and Wittmann are indeed in the lobby. So we could have a 10-race field. We are expecting to miss Cuba. I'm not even sure if Nike Donner. And Nike Donner is joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Nike Donner is in the race, lads. Nike Donner will be racing, or at the very least, he's joined the lobby. That's a cause for celebration, that one. So Nike Donner will be joining us today, and that answers that question. Right and lad, I'm not sure if he will. And Kuba, as he's already told us, that his internet isn't working, so he's obviously not going to be able to race. As Raiden has picked up a penalty following Racer Tay, with Ruti now up at the front at the moment, who's currently actually set the fastest time, so immediately looking strongest practice, with Tay just a 10th and a half, only just behind him through the chicane downhill. This is the tricky part. They're trying to make sure you keep the car under control. Don't do anything stupid with the turning or the braking or the accelerating. Not just don't do anything at all. Just let it coast down. But that's what I do, and I'm only like 7 seconds behind. So don't do that. God, this game is really loud. Hold on a second. This is purely because it'll bloody lower the volume in my ears. The audio might be okay there, but Jesus Christ, it is loud in my ears. So just quietening it down a bit. We'll have a bit of audio, some of these things, but I just can't hear anything. But we're back. Okay, we're good. That's a bit better. I can actually bloody hear something instead of the engine just right in me the whole bloody time. And I'm getting pinged notifications across the top of the thing. So yeah, here we go then. Ready to rumble. We've got Hunty the Punty. So I think, yeah, it's just Kuba and Nike Donner we're missing, isn't it? I think it is. So that's not Nike Donner. Right and Lars we're missing in the lobby. and I'm not sure they'll be racing. So we will have 11 people starting this race, or at least we'd like to think we would. As for how many people finish, we're not sure, but there's the Toyota cars. Or, well, the Toyota car of Hunter, because he's yet again going to be the only one. He's on 12 points at the moment. He's somewhere in the championship. I'm sure he's going to want to keep some points going, get the points tally up. He didn't really have an all too strong season last season before he eventually pulled through with a good run of form at the end of the season. This season he's already got a pretty decent point total. In fact, after 2 races he's scored more points than he did for about half of last season. So that is a good start to the season in Hunty's books. Raiden, again, he's just pretty much always on top of his game here, and yet again he doesn't really have an off day, and he is yet again the championship leader. Won both seasons 1 and 2 championship. I'm sure there's going to be drivers hoping, as we see the 2 Red Bulls running in tandem with each other there at the moment. Vitman G, 7th place, he's out on track. The 2 Northmen cars of Fubuki and Luckman are in 8th and 9th, and both sat in the pits. They're probably discussing some things. The former team's championship leaders, they obviously had their championship lost to Red Bull, but they're going to hope to very quickly get that battle back. Walter, in fact, there's a bit of a cluster going on here as Raiden, Tay and Ruti are all relatively close on track. You don't really want to be behind another car here. The dirt, yeah, really seems to be a problem, and trying to follow a car through the mountain section at the top is going to be very difficult. Does Raiden perfect the pit lane? No, he doesn't. He's yet again got the pit lane wrong. Now we can't see him for the wall. So that's twice now we've seen Raiden get it wrong. Night Donna on the track, and out he goes. It's the track that he chose this time, not Walter, but it was actually a joint choice between Night Donna and Ruti both choosing this one. Lorenzi has left the room. That's interesting. So, not too sure why Lorenzi's left. He has left though, but I don't really know why. Oh, he's back, so it's all good. Yeah. Team Superfast, that is obviously TSF apparently. That's something very modest of themselves to call themselves super fast. I mean, I think if they're not a true team Superfast unless they've got me on the team and they don't see TSF robot here. Anyway, so here we go then, TSF Vitman G, as we just watch him heading on to the first corner now. He was on the podium, got 2nd place in the last race, was fighting for the podium in Suzuka, just missed out to a Raiden. What can he get here in Bathurst? Is it going to be possible to go any further up the podium and maybe take the victory? Will we have 3 different winners in the first 3 races, or will it be Raiden winning? Or even Fubuki, he won the first race, will Fubuki win again? As we approach the final 10 minutes of practice before qualifying begins at 1:30, and I think everyone is now entered the track, so they've all entered into the race. We've got Luckman running around on the medium, so I think this is, for some, their only piece of practice. For others, they've been doing a little bit of practice throughout the weeks as Luckman goes off the track, just making sure, perfecting the strategy, as the tyre strategy seems to have a massive impact on these races. So it's going to be crucial to be getting that one right. Will be interesting to see who has that right. It's an 18-lap race we have ahead of us now. After Bathurst, race 4 is, I'm not sure. It rhymes, so it must be true. Let me just have a look for you now as we just catch Luckman spinning around. The next track was Autopolis Short, not Autopolis 4 for some reason, but the first race, obviously that would make Suzuka, Will Springs, Bathurst and Autopolis Short. Easy, our next race. After that we have got Autodromo Lago Maggiore. Spa-Francorchamps is round 6 with Tokyo Expressway round 7. Nürburgring GP round 8, that always provides a good race, so this could be a very exciting one. This race could also be an exciting one. Last season produced an interesting race where we had Tay and Raiden battling it out for the win. They were teammates obviously at that time, so this time they're not teammates, and in fact it was a race where Tay needed to win to be able to keep his championship fight alive. Unfortunately, Raiden, with an incredible overtaker on the outside final corner, did take the victory, knocking Tay out of championship contention. However, this time around though, we arrive at Bathurst with the championship a lot to be decided. This is only race 2 out of a whopping and grueling 10-race season, which is going to take us all the way into late December. So it's a long way for the championship, Raiden. Off the track, I really haven't seen him keep it on the track much. Currently running around Sos. Hunt's on hards. We could expect to see him doing one of those drivers that takes a hard tyre stint a long way in this stint, on his first stint. Usually does. Him and Walter as well as another one. Although Hunt's been experimenting with strategy in the last couple of races and it hasn't exactly paid off. Will you find the sweet spot with the strategy in this weekend's race and bring on some big points? He had a strong finish in Suzuka. Willow Springs a little less so. After a lot of pit stops were occurred in Willow Springs, Hunty himself did about 3 pit stops in Suzuka, so I mean, be interesting to see what the strategy is. Although Franklin's been having a really disappointing race, he will want to score points. We know he's not really liked this track so much, and that's not really been much of a secret he's had over the week, so we're all just hoping that he can get through this one, because it's not going to be strong weekend for him. Raiden's doing burnouts on the grid. Luckman's arriving out the pits and Lorenzi is following onto the Ponte up the back straight into turn 2 here under the braking. Is he going for a flying lap? I think he is. Will he be able to finish the lap in time? I reckon he will. Let's see where Lorenzi puts himself in the timesheets at the moment. Obviously the man that had his win revoked from him in Suzuka, and he's been trying with anger and he's not really dropped it, so he's going to want to recover for that. Hunt seems to get out of his way as he comes around now this section where the drivers are just so on edge. It's such a high speed thing where you're just full throttle around the top here, very close to the barriers. You don't want to touch the barrier, but you can get as close to it as you like as long as you don't go off. After all, they've paid for the entire circuit. Stuck check is in 3 minutes as he dives into the chicane, and then it tightens up even more, flings itself a lot of change of direction. You need to make sure your cornering's on point. Only one line corner around into Falcon Corner. It got a bit of a wobble on under braking. It's a very tricky braking zone, but you need the exit. This is one of the key overtaking spots down this back straight, and then getting into a little bit of a chicane, a long straight. This might be the longest straight in the track. I think it is. This is the key overtaking spot. As you can see, the cars going up and down the hill. The elevation change here is ridiculous. It is, of course, in a mountain. Fling it around the kink, into braking. Make sure you brake straight, turn it round, and switch it back immediately. It looks like a tidy lap. I mean, it looked like there was a bit of an error at Falcon Corner at the top of the hill, but I think the rest of the lap's in fairly decent. How is this going to put him in the order? P2 at the moment. He gets ahead of Night Donner for Book. He's doing well in 4th at the moment with Vintman Raiden down in 8th, but I don't think he's had a clean lap in. It's the best lap apparently. 2.5 minutes. Hello Terminal Goat, welcome to the stream. Up you are here to enjoy this one because it could be one hell of a race. There goes Hunty letting Luckman by on the straight as well. Now Hunty's going to have the slipstream from Luckman, which might have an effect here, although he would have his slipstream if, you know, he kept it on the track, which is something he didn't do, so that's a problem. So here we go, as he touches the barrier. Some of these drivers have come off the back of doing a time shootout for, oh, well, not a time shootout, a time trial, that's the word I was looking for the Group 3 season, which is due to be starting soon. I won't be commentating that, I'll be racing that. I might stream the races if I'm allowed to, but here's Fabuki, 5th place at the moment. He's not far off Night Bonner. Night Bonner's only 1.5 seconds behind Lorenzi. He's going to want to decrease that gap, but Lorenzi himself is just within 1/10 of Rute, who is 7/10 off Racete, so it looks like we could have a closely fought battle in this race, and after all, that is what we want to see. That is what we all want to see, is a close battle at any stage, any position. It doesn't really matter whereabouts the battle is for, so long as we get to see one. And it's looking good so far. The field looks close. It seems to be a very competitive field this season. So this could be interesting to see how it goes. We've got the stuck check, I think, is about to appear. We do have the stuck check starting now, just to make sure everyone gets off the grid. It's a very interesting grid, and Luckman has left. Oh dear God, Luckman has left the room. That's, yeah, that's not ideal, is it? Anyway, Racete looks to start us off with a stuck check. Ignore me yawning. Ruti is in second place, Lorenzi third. Then we've got Fabuki just outside the top three with Knight, Donna, Harbaugh, Hunty, Wittmann and Walter at the back. So this is what we'll be our view into turn one. There was a bit of chaos in the opening lap of the last season race, which saw Foxy spinning and Knight, Donna sent to the back in an instant which involved Nike and Mikey and Walter, as it looks like a lot of wheel spin from Fabuki off the line. Looks to be a bit of chaos in the background. Taylor didn't have the best getaway initially, but the second phase of the start looked to be a lot better, so I think that's maybe something to keep an eye on. Someone looked to struggle to get away from Fabuki a lot, and it's Lorenzi. Lorenzi did indeed get stuck. And I myself will be right back, stream, because I think we might just be doing another stuck check. Hopefully. New stuck check. Okay, we will be doing another stuck check. I will be just back. Just hold on a minute. Okay, so Luckman has returned. I have also returned, as you can tell. Luckman is back, and I think we'll be ready to go for a second stuck check, which looks like to be what is happening. And now Fabuki is left. Seems to be all kinds of problems going on right now. So, be interesting to just ignore me now and just... Fabuki has returned. Yeah, so I think we're just waiting now to get the stuck check underway, which should hopefully be happening soon as everyone is in the lobby and stays in the lobby. Then the stuck check should be starting. That is the reason we do a stuck check, as you saw there. Lorenzi got stuck on the grid. Now, had that happened in the race, there'd have been chaos and there'd have been tears. That's why we do the stuck check, boys. So it's a good thing we did on this occasion. But the second stuck check is beginning now. Let's actually watch the stuck check. This time we're apparently watching Raiden, even though we're not, but... It's Hobo Fraggins in the front row there. So according to this stuck check, it's an all Ford front row. Let's hope Lorenzi gets off the line well this time. Mainly because he's on pole. Is he going to be good? Is he going to be good? Lights go green. Lorenzi's got away. Everyone looks to have gotten away well. There's a lot of wheel spin and a lot of smoke there. And a lot of crashed cars. But everyone looks to have gotten away fine. Everyone's good. Well, so everyone's good. I mean, half the people crashed off at the first corner. That's just typical stuck checks at this stage. Which leads us nicely on to a 10-minute qualifying session. Qualifying begins then, I'm assuming, as Raiden is our first man on the track. So here we go, around Bathurst, and Raiden is the first one to go on the track, so he'll be the first one to set the lap time as he rushes around the outlap over the top of the hill. Also, we've got Luckman following. He's on mediums though, so he'll probably be pitting him for softs. Soft tyres and over Fragen, so there we go. He'll be continuing on to do a flying lap. Rich on softs, as well as Wittmann, who's on the mediums, so Wittmann will probably be pitting. Some of those that are going for a lap, it won't surprise me to see them burn fuel and maybe try and save the tyres. Like Donner on softs, you don't want to take too much out of those soft tyres that can so easily degrade on an outlap so that you've got nothing left. For a flying lap as well, I guess. Very close onto the back of Knight Donner, he'll probably be pitting in. Lorenzi softs, he might be going for another lap, along with Ruti, who's on the hard tyres, Hunty, who's on the hards, and for Buki, who hasn't left the pit lane. So as we watch as Raiden comes toward the end of the outlap, which would lead him on to starting the flying lap. Raiden will be the first one to start the flying lap, therefore the first one to finish the flying lap, so long as he doesn't, you know, crash. So as we go on board then with Raiden, as he comes up to start the flying lap, there's the start line. Braking into the first corner, falls it around the first, accelerates hard. This year, one of your key overtaking spots is going into turn 2 here on the exit of turn 1. And Luckman Hobo have continued on their medium tyres, which is actually no, Luckman's on mediums, Hobo's on softs. Wittmann and Walter pitted in and harden the brakes after the 50-metre board. Then you've got to accelerate, you've got to pick your moments to accelerate on this track. You don't want to accelerate too soon. You also don't want to brake too soon or too late. How the speed, it looks like there was a bit of hesitation on the steering there. Interesting to see if that's cost him. Now how brave is he? How close does he get to the barrier? You don't want to touch that barrier. You do want to get close to it. Same with the track limits. It's very limited view as it goes up and down and up and down, and the car is working really hard to try and keep as stable as possible. Doesn't use that outside curve. Oh, he brakes very late into the chicane, but has that thrown him off guard into the next one? A little bit of spinning around in the background as you can hear the tyres squealing out for help. Braking into Falcon. The car looks to have gone away from him, and it has. As he heads into a Falcon corner, it does disappear from him in the back end, but it didn't look like that will cost him too much time, and he won't be the only one doing that tonight. As he's now onto the main straight, good chance to relax and have a look at the Australian countryside, I guess. As you can see in the background, don't get to the grass or don't daydream for too long because you've got a turn coming up. And you got hard on the brakes. 100-metre board. Nice use of the line through there, accelerate. Now you're just chased with the final corner, a 90-degree corner to finish the lap off. And the time that they've all got to chase down and beat, he looks to get the back end around a bit. And on the grass on the exit, it's been a bit of an untidy lap from Raiden, but it's a 48.8 that they've all got to chase. Luckman comes into the pits. Racer T into the pits, interestingly enough. Wittmann G, he is on an outlap. Knight Donner, he's on a flying lap, so he's going to finish his lap. There's some more cars in to the pits. This is Knight Donner. He runs a little bit wide on the final corners. Wittmann, does he do a flying lap? Knight Donner goes on the front row to second as the second man that's actually put a time in. Race 2 is off already. For Buki comes out of the pits. Walter's just started a lap time up, but Fragens is in the grass at the final corner trying to find his way into the pits. Ruti's on an outlap. Hunty, he's in the pits. Oh no, Hunty's here now. Hunty's on an outlap as well. And for Buki, who is on an outlap because he's just gone to pits. So far, we're 4 minutes in. Only 2 people have set a lap time. And it is Raiden who is 2 tenths down on his own time with Knight Donner 1.2 seconds back. I honestly couldn't tell you who's going to be next to cross the line because I just genuinely don't know. The orders all skew if it's difficult to tell. Some cars are on an outlap, but Wittmann is not on an outlap as we saw him come out and start a flying lap. So here we go, descending down the mountain. All's looking good. How does he do, Falcon? He keeps the car under control, so a bit of time that Raiden could have lost there. Wittmann might have gained, but that depends on how the rest of the lap is. He's got to get everything right on the lap. Where is he in this sector split? What time is he doing compared to Raiden? It's not going to tell us, so I don't think he's quicker. He's faced now with about 3 corners, and he can just see that the finish, he knows the finish is in sight now as Raiden comes into the pits off those tyres off his run. so it's no surprise that he wasn't beating his own lap time here. Now, over the hill, you can see him rise over the crest before they immediately descend. Don't touch the grass. Does he run wide on the exit, as a couple of cars have done? No, he does not. And where's that put him for the lap time? He's not quicker, but he does get ahead of his teammate, and that puts him on to P2. Luckman just starts a lap. Walter looks to come to the end of a lap. So as Walter comes to the end of a flying lap, he's slower, and it's a 45.3, which puts him slowest so far. Racer he qualifies. Actually, no, he's just starting a flying lap, I think. Ruti's on a flying lap, and he comes across the line down to set a 43.5, which puts him P3 and splits the two Stone Age Motorsport cars. Luckman hasn't set a time, Tay hasn't set a time, Lorenzi hasn't set a time, Hubber Frames is just about to start a flying lap. Hunty, he's on a flying lap. Hunty is on a flying lap. And how does he get around the final corner? I don't know how the rest of his lap's been. 2 minutes, so I can't imagine it being good, and it does put 17 seconds off Walter. Racer Tay in 8th, 9th Lorenzi, so all these are still trying to set in their first lap time, and Fabuki looked to have gotten the chicane a little bit wrong. As there it goes down the mountain. How is this lap time? Going to be into Falcon. Does the car get away from him? Not really, and he goes very close to the barrier, so he's using up the track there as he now descends down the hill toward the sector split. How's this going to be? So then, here we go. He crosses the sector split, but it doesn't tell us if he's purple, so I don't think he is purple. Otherwise, it probably would tell us of the Northmen. Here comes Fabuki, the former championship leader, as he cuts the corner on the exit there, and he's run even wider there, so it's a mistake that's going to really cost him on his lap time. And that's his lap over. Hubber Freyens, he's ghosted, so he must be going slow. Lorenzi then, he looks like he's about to cross the line, as is Racer Tay and Luckman, who is in the pits. So I don't know if Luckman has even set a time yet, but Racer Tay comes into the final corner now. Across the line, does he set a good time? Where does this put him? It puts him on pole position by 7 thousandths of a second. Racer Tay manages to get provisional pole, and he runs immediately wide at the first corner for Buki. He's going to pits to abandon his lap time, as does Hubber Fraggins. Lorenzi crosses the line, and he goes even better pole, and it's a 42.4 for Lorenzi to put himself on provisional pole. Wittmann, I didn't even notice, improved his time to go third. Oh no, he doesn't. He puts Raiden into second. So it's now Lorenzi, who I think is beating Racer Tay on the front row there. Wittmann will move down to, yep, that confirms it. So it's Lorenzi, Racer Tay, Raiden, Wittmann, Ruti so close. Nike Donner, only half a second off Ruti, but a good second to the best of the rest, which currently sits as Walter, with Hunty 2.4 seconds, and he does improve his time, but he doesn't really improve to make a position. Luckman, Hobo and Fabuki haven't got a lap time, as Hobo really looks to be struggling. Where's Luckman coming into Falcon? There's yellow flags as he sees Wittmann and a very slow moving Hobo. Hopefully he stays off the line. That doesn't look to have caused too much chaos then. So Hubber Fraggins looks to be struggling. Where is Fabuki? Still seeing those yellow flags. But these two on an outlap. And Hobo I think's on a flying lap, but if you want to call it a flying lap, he's burnt up his tyres. There's Walter getting past. So then, Hunty the Punty then, as we can see him there in 8th place, 2.4 seconds off Walter. Does he improve his time through this sector split? Is he up on his own time? He is 9 tenths up. That wouldn't put him up in position. Luckman's about to start a lap, as is Fabuki. But Hunty then, up on his time at the moment by about 9 tenths. Does he continue this improvement into the third sector? He's set a track with 4 sectors. He looks to have gone well through Falcon, which a couple of cars have, and Raiden has managed to put himself back on provisional pole. But here's Hunty to cross the line of the third sector and head into the final. And he's 1.1 seconds up. It's still not enough at the moment to go for another position on Walter, but it's still quite an improvement. There's yellow flags. We can assume that's probably Hubber Fraggins who's still spinning around. But the two Northmen's, they look like they might only get 1 lap in here, and it's going to be this one. It's because they're going to run out of time. Hunty comes out the final corner. He's up on his time, but is he going to improve his position? No, it does not. He goes a second up. That puts him only 1.4 seconds. What about Luckman and Fabuki, who've got this 1 lap really to shine, and quali is over. So they do indeed now have this 1 lap to try and see how far up the order they can go. as Luckman now heads down the back straight, charging in towards the final part of the lap. How is he doing in this sector? It looks to be going good. Raiden on pole position at the moment with Night Donner on the front row, but Lorenzi comes back onto the front row. But we're going to watch Luckman as he comes to the end of his lap to see how his closing lap is. And I think it's going to be Raiden to possibly take pole position yet again. But here's Luckman into the final sector, toward the final corner. Final corner, what position does this put Luckman in? Where will he start the race here in Bathurst at? It's not going to be pole, and it's P7 for Luckman. I don't know if he'll been hoping for something a bit more. What about Fabuki? Where can he put himself? He's shown himself as a quick contender this season already, but does he beat his team in? He gets on the front row. Look, Fabuki out of nowhere. One lap is all they needed, and it's Hober Franz at the end. I shall be back, and it is Raiden. But just give me a minute, I'll be back. It seems we are ready to go for the race here, and it's Fabuki who is on pole position over Raiden. For the first time this season, Raiden is not on pole, but how will the race finish? Lights out and away we go out, so they go off the line. There's a bit of wheel spin and a bit of smoke in the background, but Raiden has had an incredible start on the inside, and I think Lorenzi's trying to get past Fabuki immediately. Fabuki gets a spin, there's contact, and Fabuki's round. He's round at the end of the beginning of the first corner. We've done one lap. Fabuki's dropped all the way down from pole to 10th, and now he's in 11th as his teammate gets past into 10th place. So Raiden takes the lead, but he's got Lorenzi going down the inside, and Lorenzi's a man on a mission now into the lead as Racer tries to get past Raiden. And what a start it was from Lorenzi. He started about third, and he's already taken the lead of this race after some aggressive moves. Now Racer to try and see if he can get back past. Raiden's dropped down to third place. Night Donner holding fourth with Ruti fifth. Sixth place Walter, seventh Hunty, eighth place Wittmann, so he's dropped a long way down. But it's a terrible start for the Northmen, who are down in 10th and 11th. Lorenzi then still leading race 2, who leads Raiden. So these three are probably going to start running off into the distance. We'll see if Night Donner can catch up with them. As now Raiden, race 2 gets a penalty, so he picks up a penalty from somewhere. Is that going to cost him second place and give Raiden the position back? It definitely will, but will it cost him third? So race day, is he going to peel over to let his penalty degrade? And he does, and that gives Raiden the opportunity now to strike at Lorenzi. These two were battling out in the early stages of the race between Lorenzi and Raiden. Were on fighting for the win in Suzuka when it all went wrong for Raiden. which what ultimately gave Lorenzi the penalty. How will it play out this time round? Race day drops to third. Nike holding fourth with Ruti fifth, sixth Walter, seventh Hunty. Wittmann dropping down to eighth. But the big story is that these two have ended up in 10th and 11th, and it'll be very interesting to see how Luckman ended up down the order. But Fabuki had a massive accident at the start which spun him all the way round from pole position, and it didn't look like there was much he could do to avoid that. So Raiden is now trying everything to catch him down. He's just within 3 tenths, and he's gaining ever more heading into the corner, but it's not enough straight for him to get past there. You bet these two are going to be pushing. They're already 2 seconds ahead of Race Day, who's going to have a real challenge on his hands now if he wants to get back up to fight for a chance to win. Lorenzi's finished second in a race. He's finished third. He's yet to finish first. And he and Raiden are the only 2 drivers to have a podium in both the races. Should they get one here, they'll be the only 2 drivers to get a podium in all 3 races. So then Raiden is dropping back a bit over the mountain. Purple sectors though. Race T's holding a gap. 2 seconds in front, 2 seconds behind. As Nike Donna's going to have an onslaught from Ruti behind him, who's got Walter all over the back of him. So interestingly, Walter's managed to keep up very close on medium tyres with Ruti on the hard. So that could have been the difference that's allowed Walter to get close. But can Walter get ahead and into 5th place? Hunty's doing okay on the 8th place. He's starting on those hard tyres. We've got Wittmann G on the mediums as he's chasing down Walter. He seems out of position and he's going to be wanting to rectify that immediately. Walter seems to go to the outside. Wittmann G to the inside, but is this enough? Overtake button usage hasn't really been used by either of them. But Walter's going to hold the inside line for the next corner. Is there any contact? They look to get through that one unscathed. Wittmann holds it around the outside, which changes to the inside, and Wittmann moves up into 6th. And all that battling has given Ruti a chance. Walter almost looked like he was going to go for the move there. But that battling has given Ruti a chance to build up a 1 second gap, who now has 2 seconds to Nike Donna. Meanwhile, the battle up front is yet again Raiden and Lorenzi getting closer. Raiden has already used about half his OT, as has Lorenzi. Will this early race squabbling end up causing chaos? Later on in the race, Lorenzi touches the barrier on the exit of turn 2. Raiden goes to the outside of turn 3. Does he look to try and get around the outside there? I don't think he does, but that might be the last overtake. No, he doesn't! Lorenzi makes a mistake into turn 3. Raiden moves up into the lead now. Raiden leads this race, and that was probably a lot easier than either drivers were considering it to be. For Raiden to take the lead there. Yellow flags, I think that is indeed Hubert Frangens, who's facing the wrong way. Make sure he doesn't get in the way of these two, especially his teammate. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to cheer on to take back the victory as Lorenzi looks to get a moment. Lorenzi has had an error, and now suddenly he's a threat from race day for second. So Lorenzi's gone from 3rd to 1st on the opening lap, but just 2 laps later it looks all to be falling down for him. Mistakes are being made as Wittmann G chases up to Ruti, and look how close he's gotten to him here. He's gotten all over the back. These two have been teammates for the last 2 seasons. Now they battle it out on track in opposite teams. And here we go then. Here comes Wittmann in the approach of Ruti. He's in the back. He goes to the outside. Is Wittmann going to have enough to get around the outside there? He did it to Walter. Will he do it to Ruti? Yes, he does. He finds his way ahead and into 5th place. So to be honest, he was the other way around. Raiden pits in from lap 3 in the lead. Race 2, Lorenzi follows him in, so copying him on strategy, probably realising that strategy is where it went wrong in the last race. So Race 2 does go on to lead this one now, unless Raiden gets out in front, and he does. Raiden has managed to get out ahead of Race 2. Lorenzi's out in 3rd ahead and Nike Donna. So the top 3. And now with Raiden being a pit stop ahead, he's already made a pit stop. He's going to have fresh softs compared to Tay's worn softs, compared to the mediums that Lorenzi's going. So a split strategy choice in the opening phase of this race as Nike Donna's on the mediums. He's got his teammate also on mediums who will be quickly closing him down. So this is an interesting decision for Raiden to go on the softs and for Lorenzi to go on the medium tyre. That's going to make an impact on this race. Raiden will not go as long as Lorenzi, but will probably be quicker in this stint. So how will that play out? Who will be ahead now? That means that in the pit stops, Lorenzi could possibly make less, or at the very least have fresher tyres in the next stint if he chooses to go longer. So he split strategy choice for Lorenzi and for Raiden. Nike Donna, P4 Wittmann quickly trying to catch up to his teammate as Ruti's in 6th place. dropping down the order slowly. Now Walter in 7th, 8th place Hunty, 9th place Luckman, and in 10th place Fabuki. These two are going to want to try and keep going up the order. They're a fast pair, but this is not the positions they wanted to be in, and Fabuki gets ahead of Luckman there, and I wonder if that was team orders in the end as they move up to 8th place. Lorenzi, that's Lorenzi that spun, and Lorenzi's dropped all the way down to the back. I didn't even realise, I'm not going to lie, I thought that was Hobo Fraggins at first, and Lorenzi has backed out. And that is chaos for Lorenzi, and his race has gone completely nowhere for him now. And that leaves Raiden relatively unchallenged at the front now as Race Day comes into the pits. Nagdon is choosing on again, as is Vitman G, as is Ruti on the hards, Walter on the mediums, Hunty on the hards will probably go again, and Fabuki and Luckman on the softs. Although I think Fabuki might have already pitted, or he's done a lot of tyre conservation. Luckman on the medium tyres. And so where does this put Race Day in 5th place, just behind Ruti, who now moves up into 4th, and Walter in 6th. These two Walter cars, the Brabham Walter cars, in 5th and 6th. And now Tay, is he going to try and get around the outside on fresh hards compared to Ruti's ward hards? Yes, he gets around the outside, and that is that extra grip that Tay has on those tyres. But now we've got Raiden leading, Night Donner leading Vitman in your top 3, with Race Day, who has pitted between and is pitted last out of the top 4 as Ruti gets back ahead, so maybe a mistake there as we watch these cars go round. A mistake there possibly from Tay has allowed Ruti to get ahead, and he's actually looking under threat from his teammate, who is ahead of him in the championship due to Tay just seemingly struggling this season to get the ground running really. There goes Walter. So there's Racer Tay, who is in 5th place after pitting in, with Walter in 6th. Fabuki 7th, Hunty 8th, Hobo Fraggins, he's in the pits, and I think he's given up on his race by the looks of things. So that's for Hobo Fraggins with a DNF, as has Lorenzi, who is out as well. Vitman G is now 3rd then, and Ruti, who's 4th, 5th place Tane, 6th place Walter. These two very close to each other, but will we see a change in position? Can Racer Tay get ahead of Vitman? He's going to want to get ahead of Ruti actually, and Ruti has probably been doing his teammate some good favours here, backing up Racer Tay, so that should Raiden pit, he could come out ahead of Racer Tay. And I'm sure that might be the plan, whether it's been done intentionally or not. But the more, if Racer Tay cannot get past Ruti, can't get into clean air, but that gap between Ruti and Vitman has come down significantly. So is Ruti thinking about a possible podium race here as he goes quick? His personal best through the first sector. Tay pulls to the outside. Tay swoops around the outside in the same move he did it last time. And Tay takes that 4th place back. And now Tay charges on for a possible podium. There is Fabuki quickly coming through the field now. Hunty in 8th. Luckman still down in 9th. A bit of a difficult race for these two. At the start, Ruti drops 5th place now. Is he going to fall into the clutches of Walter? And can Racer Tay now start closing that 16.7 second gap to Raiden, which is what he's going to need to do? But the hard tyres versus the soft tyres, well, there's only one winner there. But Racer Tay is going long in this stint, and I wouldn't blame him for going long. So it looks like we're already having a variable amount of strategies. Vitman and Night Donner, quite worn tyres. So here we go then, so that's very warm tyres in the end there. We got Raiden as well in 11-second gap over Night Donner. So 17, so that gap's gone up. As to be expected, Raiden's softs versus Racer Tay's hards, it's to be expected that they would indeed go up as Raiden pits, so Raiden's making his 2nd stop. Surely he's got to go onto a longer tyre now that he thinks he's safe and out of a battle. Where does this put him? Night Donner's made a mistake, and that is allowed Race Day to get in the 3rd, and to Vitman in 2nd, and as Vitman pulls into the pit lane, Raiden pulls out of the pit lane and away, so that puts Race Day back up in a 2nd. Night Donner's teammate follows him in, so the two Stone Age Motorsports are in the pits now. So our friends joins him in as well as Vitman comes out still in 3rd, but only just ahead of Ruti. Now that's crucial that Vitman is now in contention for a podium with a pit stop, but Ruti has the inside line, and I'm sure he's going to want to try to get to the inside. Fabuki's got himself up into 5th, and he's going to want to keep pushing for it, but Ruti doesn't choose to go down the inside of Vitman there. But now Wittmann's got Fabuki on the soft tyres, who's trying to charge his way through the field, and he does just that to get up into 4th place. Wittmann in 3rd, Raiden is now chasing down Race Day, and with Wittmann on the softs, Race Day on the hards, Raiden on the softs, but he's on another set of the softs. So that is another set of the soft tyres for Raiden. Racer Tay, who's losing time to Raiden on the softs. He's even losing time to Wittmann, who is also on the soft tyres, and Fabuki, who's on the soft. So Racer Tay's hard. It's just not working for him. He's not got the pace right now. He's a 1:45 on the last lap, a 52. Obviously, we can't really compare that. Here's Wittmann, who is following him, and is he going to get ahead of Racer Tay? I think he might just about. Is he going to try and find a way past like he did to Ruti a couple of laps ago? No, he's not going to try and pull out there, and he doesn't choose to send it to the inside, but he does make that move in the end. He sits back and holds half a second behind Racer Tay, who's continuing on, and those hards that really aren't working for him right now. And Racer Tay's position is under threat, not just from Wittmann, but also from Fabuki, who's going to want to charge. He had pole position, but it all went wrong for him on the first corner. So as he comes into, here's Wittmann, very close indeed, as he tries to accelerate out the first corner into the back onto the straight here as we launch him. Overtake is being used by Wittmann as he's charging down towards Race Tay. Tay feels the need to go defensive, and why wouldn't you when he's got Wittmann side by side? Wittmann tries to hold it around the outside, but that's not enough on that occasion. Wittmann holds the position in 3rd. Tay manages to defend, and that's another defensive job from Race Tay, who was leaking seconds out to Raiden, and now he's 19.5 seconds behind Raiden, who will have to stop again, but it's really struggling for him. And it's now 20 seconds. That gap's gone up by half a second in about 3 corners. Those hards are not quick at all. They're leaking about seconds a lap, and Wittmann, who is surely seen he's being held up on the last lap, Wittmann G, despite being behind Tay for an entire lap, was 4 seconds quicker. So if those softs are at 4 seconds a lap quicker, in fact 45.5 for Racer Tay, a 40.3 for Raiden. So Raiden's lap time was 5.5 seconds quicker than what Racer Tay did. And here comes Wittmann trying to get past, and surely he's got him on the straight this time. Can Racer Tay fight back? I don't think he can, and that has allowed Wittmann to get ahead and into 2nd place to now try and decrease that 20-second gap that he had. But does Racer Tay fight back? He tries to get to the inside. Wittmann looks to touch the grass a bit. You don't want to be doing that. Does Racer Tay smell an opportunity to get back at Wittmann? I don't think he does. And judging by the fact that he just lost 4 seconds on the last couple of laps, I don't think he should consider trying to keep with him. And surely with Wittmann now in clean air, he's got to keep going. Fabuki chooses to pit. And I don't know if this is, I think this is his 2nd stop here. By the looks of things, he pitted on lap 3 for a set of softs after dropping a long way down the order, and he pits onto another set of softs. Ruti comes off his hards, Walter off his mediums, and so Hunty, where does he come in relation to these two that have just come out of pitch? Ruti comes out ahead of Luckman, so that's obviously going to be ahead of Hunty. Walter comes out behind these lot. So Hunty in 8th place. Luckman on the back of Ruti. Can Luckman make the move on Ruti for 6th place? Yes, he does. Ruti coming out the pits. Luckman are running on these tyres for a while now, but Ruti on mediums. So I wonder if Walter got his mediums to 9 laps. Is Ruti going for a one-top and Walter going for a one-top? Although he won't be allowed to because he'll have to pit onto a new set of tyres. That's the thing with Raiden. He will have to pit in again to another set of tyres. So I think he's going fast so he can get the mediums to the end. That's surely what the strategy will be, as Race Day's already lost 2.5 seconds to Wittmann, and now Nike Donner's got a 3-second gap following Fabuki's pit, which puts him in 5th and on fresh soft tyres compared to Nike Donner's warm softs, and we saw how quickly softs can gain on Tay's hards as he makes a mistake, and that's not doing him any favours. Now look how close Nike Donner gets within a second, and he's alongside, and Nike Donner gets into 3rd as Raiden makes the pit stop. So is this for a set of mediums as he comes in after doing the fastest lap of the race? Nike Donner now is up in 3rd place, and Fabuki, I'm sure he can smell an opportunity for a podium here. If he can close that gap down, what a joyous day it would be for Fabuki if he could get on the podium. There is Wittmann in 2nd place. He comes into the pits. Nike Donner keeps going though. Raiden does come out in the lead, and on another set of the softs, there's Wittmann G then, who drops down the order. Nike Donner, he is into 2nd. I think, does Wittmann come out of the pits? Yeah, Wittmann does come out in 2nd. So all that time spent behind Tay has managed to pay off. He's managed to get the clean air because he's now come out ahead of his teammate, who is now up into third. Racer Tay's in fourth and has got Fabuki, who has recently come out the pits, all over the back of him. So he seems to feel the need to go defensive as Fabuki sets a purple first sector, so he's really on a charge here. And now I'm sure at this stage he could be setting his sights on a podium, though his strategy will be very different to that of the other cars. But he's just recently pitted. Nike Donna hasn't, so he's got the fresh tyres at the moment, and he gets the cutback done in turn 3, and he moves up into fourth. Tay continues to plummet down the order now, and next up is Nike Donna, and that's going to be the next target in Fabuki's sights as he charges through the field. He's doing an incredible drive right now. Luckman is in 7th, Hunty is in 8th, and he crashes! We've just got Hunty crashing, ladies and gentlemen. That is your A-rated driver right there, crashing into the barrier and allowing Walter through. Ruti in 6th place, 5th, Racer Tay, and in fact we've now got Fabuki and Nike Donna for 3rd place and the final spot on the podium to ruin Stone Age Motorsports Day. Well, I should probably just call them Stone Age because, you know, it's just easier than saying the whole name. We've got Fabuki chasing down Nike Donna. They currently have 2 cars on the podium. That could all be about to change as the Fabuki is about to overtake the Croatian Nike Donna, who is making his first race of the season, and so he's going to want to get some big points on the board and really help his teammate in the team's championship battle. But Nike Donna peels into the pits, making Fabuki's job a lot easier. That will allow Racer Tay, who also comes in, so he's off those hards. He's chosen to pit off those hard tyres, and they've just not worked for him as Wittmann looks to have made a mistake. Wittmann has made a mistake, and that's put Fabuki into 2nd place now. So Wittmann has made an error. That's dropped him down. Ruti, is he in contention for a possible podium? Is he one-stopping these races? Tay comes out now on the softs. So seeing that the softs are quick, Tay has pitted onto the softs. And Nike Donna on the soft tyre, but Wittmann's carrying damage on slightly worn soft, so he's going to have Nike Donna and Racer Tay breathing down his neck soon enough. Ruti as well is not too far behind this lot. This race could get very exciting in the end, and we could be in for an incredible finale to what's so far been a fantastic Bathurst race, and much better than, well, Willow Springs, which was a bit of a slog. It don't take much to beat that race. But Fabuki has put himself back into 2nd after being last at the end of the first lap. What a recovery drive this has been for Fabuki. Racer Tay comes through in 5th, 6th place, Ruti, 7th place. Luckman slowly trying to bring himself up the order, but it's not to the success that his teammate has been doing. As now we have Nike Donna and Wittmann G closing in on each other. Now will there be team orders? Nike Donna's got fresher tyres, Fabuki's got worn tyres. Now what does Raiden pit onto? Is he makes it another stop? Is this going to be a different compound? He does need to pit onto a different compound. It looks like a fuel stop as well, just to get him to the end of the race. So I think this might be his last stop. Fabuki's coming round though. Is he going to be close enough to Raiden? And he's on the medium. So Raiden will be going to the end. Fabuki will be on softs with G and Nike Donna. Are these two going to be allowed to race? Or will there be team orders with Wittmann on all the tyres? No. No need for team orders as Wittmann pits in. That allows Racer Tay to get back into 4th place ahead of Wittmann, and Ruti up into 5th. Luckman has got himself into 6th place. Is Walter going to be close enough to get ahead of Wittmann? I highly doubt he will. So Luckman moves now up into 6th place. Ruti not far from this battle, which could be a battle for the podium between Racer Tay and Nike Donna here. So then, we've got Racer Tay and Nike Donna and Ruti, who is here now in 5th place. Luckman in 6th. Wittmann on soft, so he's going to want to try and charge his way back to this battle that really looks to be heating up at the moment. We've got some, most of these cars are on soft tyres, they're all going to be gunning for it, to go for everything now. There isn't points for fastest lap, it's just a pride thing if they get it. Fabuki's going to want to try and push as far as he can, so he doesn't fall down the order by too much, because I'm sure he's now definitely thinking a podium is a possibility. Raiden looks a long way out in the lead and looks relatively untroubled, but what could have been for Fabuki? Another win, possibly, if Fabuki hadn't been involved in an incident. I'm not saying it was his fault, but I'm sure there could be errors there. So there's Racer Tay, who is chasing down Nike Donna for the podium, and surely Racer Tay's going to want to do this. He's currently on 3 points after losing 5 for leaving the lobby mid-race. last time, and is that a mistake at the front? It is! Raiden's off! Raiden's got off the end of the lap, and that's problems for Buki. Is he about to take the lead? Or he's going to be very close, and Raiden's tyres on the mediums against the softs. For Buki, he's now within half a second of Raiden for the lead, and it's all just exploded up at the front as Raiden goes off, and now suddenly Fubuki is within the hunt of the lead. Can Fubuki still win this race? Or is he going to get those softs to the end? Or is he even going to get fuel to the end? I don't think he will. It looks like Fubuki's still to do a fuel stop. Meanwhile, in the background, you've got Night Donner and Racete. But suddenly, Fubuki, has caused Raiden to feel the need to go defensive, but I think Fubuki might have to pit this lap for fuel, and he'll probably go for fresher tyres, so it's going to be a right charge from Fubuki through the field at the end of this race, which means we will put Night Donner and Racete, who clobbers the barrier there, into turn 2. We've got Luckman and Ruti for 5th place. Can Luckman get up into P5? And what a drive that would be from him, who was running 11th on the opening lap, or 10th. But both of them were running in 10th and 11th at the end of lap 1. They're now running 2nd and 6th, and it could be 1st and 5th by the end of the lap. But I think Raiden's managed to get him going again. I think Fubuki's tyres, in the state they're in, it'd be worth changing onto a different set of tyres. So we've got Racete in P4, 5th place is Ruti, 6th place Luckman, 7th Vitman G. In 8th place then is Walter, and 9th Hornty the Ponte, down at the bottom of the field. But our key battle here is Racete's mistake has cost him a lot of time to Night Donner, but that could be crucial for Fubuki. Obviously doesn't know the mistakes happening behind, but he's going to want to come out as close to the front as he can to possibly show him an opportunity here to be able to race and get a podium in the end. Luckman pulls to the outside, but I don't think that's going to be enough. And Fubuki does pit, so that's with the final 5 laps approaching upon him. He's going to have 5 laps to push. Night Donner's going to get up in a second, and Racete to the podium. Ruti and Luckman are both in the pit, so that will put Fubuki into 4th place, because I doubt Vitman will be able to cross the line ahead of him, and he does not. So Fubuki has got 10 seconds, 11 seconds to first, and not very far. He's now got the freshest tyres of the top 4, even the top 5 even, as Vitman. So yeah, in the top 5, Fubuki has the freshest tyres, as Vitman sets a purple first sector. Fubuki's got 5 laps. Can he get past 2 cars, or even just 1 for a podium? Is he going to be able to do it? You'd think so. He's got the freshest tyres. His tyres really don't look in a strong condition here, and already Fubuki's starting to decrease this gap. Is this a big brain moment for Fubuki to have pitted in at this stage and thought this out masterfully, or else it's been done on the fly? Well, we'll find out if Fubuki can get on the podium. This could be an incredible race for Fubuki. Luckman's driven well as well, and he now sits 10 seconds behind Vitman, but he did get ahead of Ruti through the pit stops there, so he's jumped Ruti and up into 6th place, although it's not really up into 6th place because he was probably 6th when he came in, but Vitman's managed to get ahead of him. But Night Donner, he's driving a great race, only 4.5 seconds, and on his softs he's actually catching Raiden, but it looks like he's going to have to pit in again for fuel. Raiden's done his fuel stop, but now Fubuki's got Racete all over him now, and he looks to choose to go to the inside. No, he does not. How's Racete for fuel? Racete could get to the end, as could Fubuki, but Raiden pits in, as does Night Donner. Who is going to win this race? As Racete pits in, has Fubuki just thought this one out masterfully, or are they all picking onto fresh tyres to make sure they can get out ahead? Raiden's coming out the pits now. Whereabouts is Fubuki? He's just heading into the first corner now. Vitman now moves up in 3rd, but he's going to be vulnerable. As Racete, he's homes out in 3rd place, as he actually comes out ahead of Vitman. His teammate Night Donner, who's now going to have a fresh sauce, comes out just behind him. Clearly, fuel was a thing there that was seemingly costing them. And now, can Fubuki catch up to Raiden in the closing 3 laps now? This is turning into one hell of a race we've got ahead of us now. We now have Racete. He's got Vitman and got Night Donner all over him for 3rd, but Vitman with the most worn tyres. Is it going to be enough for Vitman to hold off Night Donner and Racete here? Well, we're about to find out if Night Donner, will he get ahead of Vitman. This is turning into a very interesting skirmish at the moment that we're seeing developing here. We now have Ruti and Luckman, who aren't exactly miles apart from each other either. But we've got these two. Will there be team orders between Stone Age Motorsport, or will there not? as we can see, Stone Age, will they have Wittmann ahead of Night Donner? Will they change this around? Will they put Night Donner in front? Night Donner's probably going to be quicker, and he's going to be losing time behind his teammate. Meanwhile, for Buki, he's closing that gap down, I think, to Raiden, 3.2, and it is going down, so I'm interested to see what if there's something going on in Raiden's car that's causing him to leak out the time there, because he has got the fresh tyres by a lap or two, but it's nothing by major. They'll both be going to the finish now, I think, and they're both going to be pushing to the finish, but will Raiden be able to keep himself ahead of Fubuki? There's squabbling going on between the two teammates as Night Donner pulls to the outside. Is Wittmann into the pits? Wittmann is into the pits, but that has allowed Race State to build up some sort of a gap over Night Donner, who will now be charging for the podium. This is becoming a right race as Fubuki. I think he made a bit of a mistake there because he's lost a bit of time to Raiden, so he is clearly pushing for it right now to close down the 2.5 seconds. 3 laps, 2.5 seconds. Wittmann actually has the fastest lap, so he did grab that fastest lap as he comes out the pits. 5th place, he grabbed it a couple of laps ago. Lap 14. Fubuki, how close did he get? 42. 5.5 a second. He needs to shave off his lap time if he wants to go for the fastest lap. Raiden, is he going to go for it? Walter pits in yet again, but this is one hell of a race it's turned out to be. Racer T is going to have to hold on against Night Donner. Fubuki in second, Raiden in the lead. He is going for it. Oh, Raiden's gone off! Raiden goes over the top of the mountain! Fubuki, how close can he get? Can he take the lead? I think he might just, you know, or at the very least he's gotten very close now. And that race has been interesting. Raiden making a mistake, and now suddenly Fubuki is all over him. Can Fubuki take it? Into Falcon, does he go for it? Not quite. Now he's looking like he's going to try and hold out. He's got a lot of cars on this corner. In fact, this seems to be the most common overtaking spot along with turn 2. But now is Fubuki going to be close enough? And has he got the overtaking attack? No, he does not. Fubuki's actually drained his overtake, unlike Raiden, who's got half a tank still. And he tries to pull to the outside. Does he hold it around the outside? Does Fubuki, which switches to the inside, under the braking? And Raiden holds the lead there. But suddenly, Fubuki is very much in contention to win this race. He's been quick. He's been very quick. But now it's suddenly Fubuki and Raiden. And is this Raiden being challenged? I think it is. And now suddenly Fubuki is not... He's very much in contention. He was on pole. He got spun around on the first corner and into the first corner. Fubuki tries to get to the inside. That's not quite enough. But all this, suddenly Racer Tay might win this race because this battling between these two has allowed for Racer Tay to slowly close. That gap is chipping away. 2 laps remain and suddenly Fubuki pulls to the outside. He's on the outside. Is he ahead? He's ahead at the moment, heading into the corner, but Raiden yet again defends. Fubuki takes the lead and he now leads this race. What a race from Fubuki as he takes the lead here and Raiden drops to second. Does Raiden have what it takes to get ahead though, or will Race Tay close in? He's now within 2 seconds. A half-second penalty though might harming him in his battle for the podium. Meanwhile we've got Luckman and Ruti very close to each other. Walter's going across the main straight in his battle with Hunty, but what a race we had up front. I told you it was developing, and now Fubuki and Raiden are going to be fighting for it in the final 2 laps on a track which is very easy to make mistakes, as Raiden proves there. So is Raiden, in fact as Fubuki's got a penalty, he has done, he needs to serve that. That's going to give Raiden the lead, and he does. So Fubuki ends up taking second place back, and now he's going to have this final lap. Can Fubuki take the lead? Can Fubuki take the lead away from Raiden on the final lap of this race? Which is what it's going to come down to in the end. We're going to have one hell of a race as Raiden, the championship leader, Fubuki, who was the championship leader after the first race, is now fighting for the win. Racer Tay and Night Donner for third, and in fact if anything happens up front there's a very easy chance that Racer Tay could win this race. The top 4 in the same shot as we head on to the final lap. Who will win this race? It's incredibly close. One mistake could decide the entire top 4 here, which is still very much up for grabs. But they seem to be a bit spaced out now. They're not exactly very close. Fubuki's going to have to throw everything on the line if he wants to get past. And so will Raiden if he wants to hold the win. But that's where mistakes get made if he starts pushing. Meanwhile, we're going to have Race Tay and Night Donner fighting as Night Donner clatters the barrier there on turn 2. As Race Tay did earlier on. As he chases down, he's just within 1.3 seconds of Fubuki, who's losing time to Raiden here. As I think he might not have the fuel to make the lap. And that's going to be a shame. But as Race Tay charges through. So as Racer Tate is approaching, he's actually getting about a second to the back of Fabuki. Raiden looks to have increased a 1.4 second gap to Fabuki here. And that looks to be a job done for Raiden. It wasn't an easy drive for him, but Raiden gets a penalty. Raiden does get a penalty, and he's going to have to serve that. And with Fabuki quickly closing in, that's going to be well for Fabuki. As here we go then. Raiden serves his penalty, meaning he slows down. Fabuki quickly approaches, and he takes the lead on the last lap. Fabuki retakes the lead. A penalty for Raiden decides the outcome here, unless Raiden can sling it up the inside. Now, can Taven get ahead of Raiden in a battle which is being decided on the last lap with Fabuki, who's taken the lead on the last lap. Raiden in second, Race Tate third. The top three are all within a second of each other as we approach the line. Here we go, then Raiden looks to shape up a move into the final corner. It's not enough, he gets a bit of a drift on, but Fabuki wins an incredible Bathurst race, which has gone down to the wire, and the top three within a second. Nike Donner fourth, Wittmann fifth, Luckman sixth. 7th place it looks to be Ruti. Walter and Huntley seem very close. All of a sudden they're quite close to each other on the track, but I think I need to Jesus, that race. Anyway, but it's not over yet. Huntley could still just get past Walter into the final corner. It's this race that's gone down to the wire, and is it going to be Huntley getting ahead of Walter? Is it going to be Hunter getting ahead of Walter at the final corner? They're very close. It's going to be a photo finish between these two at the back. Is it going to be enough? No, it's not. 2 tenths in the end split these two. And what a race that was in Bathurst. Oh my, wow, that was a race. That was definitely a race. We had Fabuki, who managed to just about beat Raiden, who just about beat Race Tate, and any one of those three could win that race in the last lap. That's going to be one to be remembered, as Fabuki takes his second win of the season, and this one was done on track. Nike Donner fourth in his first race, strong points for him as Wittmann G goes into fifth. Luckman in 6th place, Ruti 7th in the end, Walter 8th, 9th place Hunty, and Fraggins, who we didn't have to wait the final 35 seconds, but there's no words. I'm genuinely, this is just speechless. I don't think I'd ever seen anything like that race, but we had the top three going on to the final lap, and all three of them could win the race. Well done, Bathurst. That's all that could be said on that one. That was probably one of the best races I've ever had the privilege of commentating on. That was incredible. And you say these cars can't follow. There it is then. Fabuki started on pole, spun round on the first corner, and he put himself. Oh, they started second, but started on pole, second, sorry, spun round on the first corner, dropped to the back, and suddenly he was first again. What a race. And I'm very much looking forward to our interviews with that one. So we invite in our Racer Tate, Raiden, and Fabuki. Yeah, I'm very, very much looking forward to the interviews with that one, because that was one hell of a race. Our results then, there they are, your official results. Fabuki took the victory only just over Raiden, Racer Tate third, Nike Donner fourth, Wittmann fifth, sixth Luckman, seventh Fruity, eighth Walter, ninth Hunty, Noble Fraggins did not finish, and Lorenzi left. Hello?
Evening.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Fabuki. That fucking move, I can't remember what lap it was turn 4, that was bliss. Well done, man.
Cheers, man.
I think that whole race was bliss.
Yeah, good point.
Like, that was a final 5 laps that happened in a race that I got to commentate on. I'm so happy right now, especially after the slog that was Willow Springs. This was much needed. Anyway.
Yeah, it was an entertaining race.
Yeah, the commentator just lost it, honestly. Didn't know what to do. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, well done. And Fubuki then, let's talk about your race, because that's the definition of a recovery drive, shall we say.
Without doubt, yeah. I've no idea what happened on turn 1, but back end just went and was gone. Dead last and had to try something to get back up there.
And then 18 laps later you won the race. Did you think that was possible after the spin, that you could have won? Like,
after the spin I thought at most second was going to be like what I would get, especially when I saw the gap between me and Ridden. I think it was about lap 10, he was 20 seconds off ahead. Like, nah. Thought, like, long gone.
Also, did the incident at the start, did that change your mind on the strategy, or was it the same plan that you were intending to go with from the get-go? Or
it did change my mind, yeah. I was intending to do 4 laps on the mediums at the start, just to get them out of the way, really. Lowered it to 3, and just hope that the softs would pull out.
Obviously, Raiden, as Fubuki mentioned, you had like a 20-second lead and then it disappeared. What happened on your end?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think the problem started after I went onto the mediums, and then on the first lap on the mediums I went off at the back straight to just outbrake myself, and then I was just trapped in the sand. And I just couldn't get out of the sand. I was doing like pirouettes, and I lost like 15 seconds doing that. And then I came in and made an extra stop just to get off the mediums because I didn't like them very much. And then I bottled it again at the top of the mountain and got hit the sand and then hit the wall. And then I was trying so hard to get back past Fubuki after he got his penalty, and then I got the same penalty going back down the hill. Nightmare of a race, but it was fun, at least at the end.
Definitely fun.
Also, Raiden, I believe this is the first time you've not won 2 races in a row in Super Formula.
Is it not?
Yeah, because I think usually what happens is you don't win the first one, but then you win every race after that. This is the first time you've not won 2 races in a row.
I don't know.
Oh. Which I'm sure is probably not something you were hoping for.
Well, yeah, I mean, after the first few stops, and I was just putting softs on one after another, and the pace on the softs was so good, I just made such a massive gap. I mean, even at the start, because I had Lorenzi push me off into the wall at turn 2 to get past, which really annoyed me. And then I was just stuck in his dirty air for the first sort of three laps, and then but just going on the softs after the softs, that one after another was really good. It all just went wrong as soon as I went on the mediums.
Resite, first podium of the season, well done.
Thank you.
And,
Got there in the end.
What was the race like for you then?
Yeah, good, I guess. I had much fun on. I just kind of. I hadn't really had any big bobbles. There was a few kind of minor setbacks, but otherwise, yeah, it was pretty straightforward. At the end, it obviously got a bit exciting with kind of a bit of back and forth between the top 2, and of course, it never came to anything. But yeah, it was.
Did you think at any point in the end that you could win this race, or?
Well, I don't want to count it out. It obviously would have been unlikely, but I thought maybe if there is always a chance. But I didn't think necessarily it was going to happen.
Okay. Is this just a question to anyone who wants to answer? Is this possibly like a preview of what the rest of the season could look like?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I'd like it to be.
I think there's still plenty of people that have the ability to be on the podium or even winning the races. Lorenzi, Vitt, not to name everyone, but
Yeah, so hopefully it should be a good race. Next one is Autopolis Short. What are your thoughts going into that one? And it is next week, by the way, guys.
I think actually Autopolis Short might be the better option because it's got more safety opportunities than the normal one, I guess. Maybe.
I disagree. I don't think it's gonna be. It's gonna be very good at all.
I strongly agree with Raiden. I think it's going to be on par with Little Springs.
Maybe I'm just too positive.
It's weird. The race that, you know, these cars are pretty much designed to go around is the race where the cars don't want to go around. Yeah.
Vice versa.
Shit. Anyway, yeah. So, I think that's everything then. So, well done, and we'll see you next week then for our topless short. And it is definitely next week. Since everyone seemed to forget this one.
Yeah.
It's been fortnightly since like forever, so
Yeah, fair enough. Oh well, we'll ease into a rhythm eventually. Right, so I'm going to end the stream here then. So bye to anyone that's watching. Hope you enjoyed the race as much as I did, and we'll see you for the next one.